Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to dive into something really special. We're going to piece together the fragments of a beautifully crafted fictional world, one that's all about glowing words, coastal vibes, and a really deep sense of connection.
So, what in the world does that mean, right? Well, that line, it's basically the key that unlocks this entire world. So stick with me because we're not just going to translate it. We're going to get into the feeling behind these words and the incredible world they belong to.
All right, first things first, let's set the stage. You know how every really great fictional world has its own unique vibe? An atmosphere you can almost feel? Well, this one is built on a really cool fusion of sound and pure emotion.
And what's so cool is how all these different pieces come together. So you've got this smooth, romantic R&B harmony, right? But it's layered over this awesome, driving cumbia rhythm. Now just imagine that music playing as the sun sets over the coast. The whole scene is painted in these deep indigos and shimmering golds. It's such a specific mood, you can just picture it.
And here's where we see that mood in action, perfectly. We open on a character, his name's Juru. Picture this. He's on a rooftop looking out over the coast. He's dressed sharp, black and gold suit, and his sleek car is right there. It's twilight, and he's making a phone call that's about to get, well, pretty magical.
Okay, so let's keep going, because the aesthetic of this world is way more than just colors and music. It's got this totally unique visual language, a way of literally making the unseen seen.
And this is the big visual hook, the thing that's just so cool. When people talk, their words don't just, vanish. They actually appear in the air as glowing calligraphy. It's in a language called Arreqqana, and they float like these beautiful ribbons of light. It means speech itself is a form of visual art. How amazing is that?
But wait, it gets even more personal. Each character has their own signature glow. So for instance, Papoya Halal's words, they glow with this soft pepper pink and gold. Meanwhile, Moriyazawa's words are a deep sea blue. It's this brilliant, instant way to show you who they are just through light and color.
Okay, so let's just quickly recap the visual rules here. 1. Speaking creates floating, glowing glyphs. 2. Every single person has their own unique color for those glyphs. And 3. For those really intimate, personal moments, the whole art style can shift into this awesome manga-inspired screen tone look. It's a classic way to really punch up the emotion.
All right, we've got the look, we've got the feel. Now let's get to the heart of the story. The characters. So, who's Juru on the phone with? And what's their connection all about?
Okay, remember that mysterious line from the very beginning? Well, here's the translation. He says, "My pepper lamb, your voice soothes me, I'm listening." Wow, he's talking to someone named Pepe Kalalawaja, who he calls his pepper lamb. You just instantly feel this incredible tenderness, right? So intimate.
And as he's listening, the screen just blossoms. It splits into 4 different scenes. We don't just see Pepe on her bed. We also see 3 other women. Saravina is writing in a journal, Kahavina is in her bunk bed, and Marisawa is on a moonlit beach. And they are all his Dalsijawajas. It's this term of deep, shared affection.
And then, together you hear their voices join in this soft whisper. And of course, their words form glowing script, each in their own unique colors. They all share this bond, this title, with him. It's a really profound shared connection.
But now, let's zoom in a little. Let's look at how this warmth plays out in a smaller, quieter moment, just between Juru and Pepe. So in this scene, Pepe is holding a little stuffed lamb, and she gives him this playful pout and asks him this. It's so sweet and disarming, you know? It perfectly shows their comfortable, teasing kind of affection, and it totally sets up his reply, which is just as charming. So he plays along, he kisses the toy and just says, "Lucky lamb." It's such a tiny little exchange, but it says so much about how comfortable they are with each other, about their warmth, and it is the perfect example of this feeling that we're about to give a name to.
Okay, so we've seen the vibe, we've seen the visuals, we've seen the relationships, but what's the glue that holds it all together? The final piece of the puzzle is the language itself, because this world has a single word that perfectly captures its soul.
And that word is karojvia. It's a noun, and it means a moment of warmth, clarity, or gentle connection that arrives when you least expect it. Just think about that phone call for a second. Think about that lucky lamb moment. That feeling? Yeah, this culture has a specific word just for that.
And it's really cool when you break the word down, its meaning gets even clearer. So karos means to feel warmth, kindness. And via means a moment, a breath, or a glimmer in time. So karos via literally translates to a glimmer of warmth. I love that.
And what makes this so powerful is that it's not just some abstract idea, It's something they actually do. It's an active practice. People in this world will whisper it to bless a comfortable silence, or say it after a really moving piece of music. They even write it in their gratitude journals. They actively notice and name these little moments of grace.
All right, let's bring it all home now. We've looked at the aesthetic, the visual magic, the characters, the language. So, how does all of this weave together to create this one cohesive living soul?
Let me just ask this. What is the common thread? What connects that super emotional phone call, where words literally become light, to a simple, playful moment with a stuffed animal?
The answer is karos via. It's that simple. Everything we've talked about is just an expression of this one core value. The art style, it makes connection visible. The relationships, they're built on these small, warm moments. And the language, it gives them a name for that feeling. It's the one central idea that makes this entire world feel so real and so resonant.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. Whether it's a unique word or a cool visual quirk or a special kind of relationship, the soul of a world is almost always found in those small details. So I'll leave you with this. What are the small details that make a fictional world feel truly alive to you?